conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
All right, we're back from Houston, Texas. Paul's in Philadelphia. Freezing, is it, Paul?
It's not too cold right now, but the snow we got dumped on. We got at least a foot of snow, but now already, like, I know New York's getting it worse than we are. So Brian and Harrington probably have it worse, but my streets are already clear.
Well, I hate to rub it in, but shortly before the podcast, I was lying on my balcony. It's 79 degrees. There's not a cloud in the sky. I was like, I thought I need to get a bit of a tan. So, my bad. I apologize. Anyway, you're not here for the weather reports. We were in Houston because we had a wonderful fight card. So we're going to go through that. We're also going to be joined by the doctor, Uros Medic, who got that spectacular knockout over Jeff Neal. And we're also going to be joined by one of the hottest prospects in all of mixed martial arts, Jacobe Smith, that got a sickening knockout at the weekend. Plus, we'll go through the fights. We'll talk Mexico City. We'll talk some other stuff. We might talk about Mexico, what's going on down there, because there's a lot of crazy nonsense happening. Not nonsense, crazy shit happening. But Paul, as always, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. Good to be back before that snowstorm happened. I built an igloo today with the kids outside on my back. Lovely. Very on my cute. Back little deck. Yeah, it was cool. I think it's already starting to melt though, because it warmed up after the snow hit. But it's good. I was there you go. You got it.
I had a little curler.
I saw it. You got to get
as I grow my hair, it's very curly now, which is very, very annoying because people always say, "Oh, you got too much product in," but don't. It's all over the place. I look mental. What was I going to say then? I was going to say something. Paul. Paul is true when he says he's not drinking. Over the weekend,
I did it.
It gave me the cold shoulder. Wouldn't have a drink at any of the dinners after the fights. Normally, we go to the hotel bar. We digress. We talk about the fights. We revel in the spectacular performances of the fighters. Or sometimes we just don't talk about fights whatsoever and just talk about anything else because,
we've just talked about fights for 6 hours. Yeah.
I got left to myself in the hotel bar, Paul.
Did Bruce not come down? I saw in the morning that he had responded. Did he come down?
Bruce did come down, and then later on. So I went and hid because, without sounding like an asshole, and I will sound like an asshole, I expected you guys all in there. You know what I mean? So I go down, and it's a bunch of UFC fans, of course, and they're great. But I'm just getting my head pecked. And I'm like, I just a full day. And the research started at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired, man. So I got my glass of wine, and I went and hid down. There was like a Wi-Fi station, like an internet cafe down one corridor. So I went and hid behind the screen, and then the fans were lining up there. And they're talking to me, and I'm like, guys, as I said, I really hate to be, I'm not being that guy. I said, but I'm just looking for a bit of peace and quiet. I'm really tired. They're like, Mike, the toilet's there. We're in line for the toilet. Like, get over yourself, bro. We don't want to talk to you. We're waiting for the bathroom. Shut up. So, Paul, I will never forgive you, but good for you on your sobriety journey.
3 months today. It's officially 3 months today. And normally I still would have come down and hung out and had some sort of beverage, except that my shuttle was 5 a.m. that next day to get out of there. And I was like, by the time we got done, as anybody that watched the broadcast on Saturday, the prelims went really, really, really long. And then the main card started and shit went down.
Yes.
But dude, how about this is only the second time I've been on a broadcast where 2 times they didn't even have walkouts for 2 fights.
Well, there was 2 fights that didn't get a walkout. Excuse me, I'm about to burp. Well, there it is, just down the protein shake. There was 2 fights that didn't get a walkout, and there was no interviews whatsoever on the undercard. And I haven't done an in-ring interview for a while. And then we're on the main card, and I'm like, oh. Anyway, so it took me a bit to get warmed up. But I remember I needed a pee at one point. So I ran to the bathroom, and I was pretty quick. I went in, quick pee, scooted back to my spot, and I thought, there's no way they've even done the walks yet. I sat down at my thing. Both fighters are in the ring. Yeah. And it's about to start. And I'm like, well, what has happened? And then it happened again. I was like, right. because we were over the broadcasted allotted time.
Yeah.
So that was a shame, but c'est la vie. That's just the way it goes sometimes.
I'm glad that has never happened to me. Although maybe it's even a good thing. Like if you're early on in the night and you're nervous, you're a newer fighter on the prelims, and you don't even have to do all that. It's just like, here you go. As long as you get time to warm up, that would be my only concern. But I guess you have plenty of time to warm up if every fight's going to a decision.
Yeah, dude. It was one of the longest ever. But the main card, holy shit. And also the prelim headliner, Carlos Leal versus Chidi Njokwani. It wasn't a finish, but man, they stood there for 15 minutes
toe to toe
and just went toe to toe.
Yeah.
It was really, really impressive. And then obviously, then we had another decision with Michelle Pereira, Jacobe Smith with that knockout, Sergey Spivak beat Ante Delia. It was a great. The main card was phenomenal. Where do we start? We'll get to Strickland. Obviously, there's a lot to say, but I say we start with Jacobe Smith versus Josiah Harrell. Harrell.
Yeah.
Harrell.
Scary knockout. One of the most disturbing knockouts I've seen in a long time. And obviously what makes it so scary to watch for all of us and anybody, and I'm sure the team behind Harrell as well, is the fact that he went through so much with the brain surgery, with the issues that he had medically going into that fight. And then you watch him get as devastatingly KO'd as he did. And then there was also the ref took a bit to get in there. And then Jacobe being pumped up, and we're going to talk to him today, lands a few extra, even as the ref is like pushing him off. And then that's the worst I've seen a guy rolling around like that, unconscious and trying to get with it for a while. And just knowing that he's had a real serious brain disease get fixed not that long ago really makes it hard to watch.
So we talked about it a bit on the broadcast. So he was supposed to fight Jack Della Maddalena on short notice. That shows you the type of warrior spirit, fighting spirit that this guy has. They do the brain scans and all the medical tests. They discover he's got this condition called moya, which restricts blood flow to the brain. I think I've got restricted blood flow to the brain. And my voice is raspy today as well. I wonder why. And also you're at risk of stroke. So he had a full-on brain surgery, and I saw some of the images of the scarring down the side of his head. Yeah. Since then, he's come back. He had 3 wins on the regional scene. I think they were all stoppages. So obviously the athletic commissions have gone into it. They've looked at it closely, and they've said, yeah, you're not at further risk. Then he takes on Jacobe Smith. This man is a monster. Those takedowns that he got, and then the hammer fist. And I got to say, the referee, man, what was he doing? He should have stopped that way sooner, and certainly given the circumstances as well. I think just knowing that he was as out as he was, one more really. So I don't think it was too bad from Jacobe Smith. I wish he wouldn't have, but I've been there. We've all been there. When a guy's out, you're hyped up, you're trying to get big wins in the UFC, your mind is in a violent place, but the ref is there for that reason to stop you. It was late, and I think he took a little bit more and probably put him out a little worse than maybe he would have been if he had gotten in there a little quicker. As soon as he goes limp like that, especially with a motherfucker like Jacobe Smith on top of him, you got to get in there and stop him because he's going to hurt him. Yeah, well, Jacobe Smith, we'll talk to him in a little bit and get his side of things. But listen, you've got to go in there with that nasty mindset, and you're in that moment, the adrenaline's flowing and kill or be killed and all that type of thing. So, yeah, there's no criticism necessarily levied towards him. It's like Dan Henderson when he hit me with the second shot at UFC 100.
Yeah.
Hey, the referee's there to stop him. I had no problem. I mean, I was unconscious for a long time, but it's like, bro, that's what we sign up for. So big balls on Josiah Harrell. He'll get another shot. I hope so, because that's Jack Della Maddalena. And then this guy, Jacobe Smith, we'll talk about him in a little bit. So we'll get all of that and we'll hype him up some more. Melquizael Costa, the spinning back kick on Dan Ige. 6 fights in a row now, 2 head kick knockouts in the last 2 fights. That man's a problem.
I think he's probably got some of the best kicking game in that featherweight division right now. Listen, I kind of wish Dan Ige got a little more time to try to fight through that. I don't know if there would have been any difference, and I don't think you can take anything away from Melquizael Costa. It probably was going that way anyway. Obviously, it was trending that way throughout that first round anyway. Loved Dan Ige, but he just couldn't get a read on Costa whatsoever. But I think he's the kind of warrior you let him at least take a few more shots, make it to the second round. Maybe he doesn't even get out of the corner because that eye swelled up really bad. But it's a guy I wish could have went out on his shield a little more. And it would have made it even more impressive, I think, for Melquizael Costa if they see him not even be able to keep continuing after that shot landed. That's to land spinning back kicks to the face like that and know it. And when I rewatched it back, you see him timing that up. You see him very subtly just waiting for Dan to level change, and he throws that kick.
Who landed multiple of those in a very high-profile fight?
Well, I know Uriah Hall has knocked
not Uriah Hall. I'll throw it to the panel. It was a big fight.
Max Holloway landed one.
Max Holloway
landed two.
On Justin Gaethje.
Yeah. And shattered his nose. When you can land one of those to the face, think about how bad that hurts your body. Me and you have both probably been hit with plenty of spinning back kicks to the body, and it sucks. To the face, I've never gotten hit with a spinning back kick to the face. I've been side kicked in the face in a fight.
Yep.
That sucked.
I've never taken the spinning back kick or the Ushiro Mawashigeri.
Nice.
If you want the Japanese terminology.
I got the Korean terminology for it, but not the Japanese one.
You've got the what terminology?
Korean for it.
Give it to me.
I think that would be Yidan Dwit Budo Chagi, maybe? Like spinning thrust kick.
Kamsamida.
Kamsamida.
Kamsamida. We're very, very, very
we're cultured.
Very cool. We're men of culture, and that's according to.
And we'll be speaking to Medic,
a man of culture, Uros Medic, the doctor who knocked out Jeff Neal. We won't go through that. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Fume, which is a flavored air device designed to help people quit vaping and smoking by breaking the hand-to-mouth pattern. It's simple, natural, and honestly, it's kind of genius. No nicotine, no batteries, no vapor. Just a weighted, twisty, fidget-friendly tool that gives your hands something better to reach for when cravings show up. Now, most attempts to quit fail for one reason. They try and remove the habit without replacing it. Fume is the replacement, a flavored air fidget device that lets you satisfy the urge to reach for something without nicotine, vapor, or batteries. Just clean, natural vapors and a fidget-friendly design that feels good to you. So don't just try to quit. Upgrade the habit loop. Reach for Fume instead. Now, of course, it's January. New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop smoking. Easy on day one. Then the cravings hit. By day 5, you're back to your old habits. Well, not with Fume. Fume are here to help interrupt the old pattern. And of course, lots of flavors, the crisp mint, the peach blush, or the gingerbread, amongst many others. And right now, when you grab a journey back, you also get a free gift just for using the code BELIEVE. Fume has helped over 700,000 people take steps towards better habits, and now it's your turn. Use the code BELIEVE to get a free gift with the Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfume, TRYFUM.com. Use the code BELIEVE to claim your free gift today. Hold on, before we get to the main event, I want to talk about Sergey Spivak and Ante Delija.
Yeah.
Because Delija is a monster, a problem walking, trouble walking. That's his nickname. Had that big knockout in his debut over Marcin Tybura. Then he had that situation with Waldo Cortez Acosta. I honestly thought that this was going to be a really hard matchup for Sergey Spivak.
So did I.
And I got to say, man, Sergey Spivak, not only as number one, he improved himself on the microphone because it wasn't exactly like the loudest, like most rambunctious interview.
No.
But he spoke some words. He talked about his father passing. He made people care. He bled all over my white shirt as I was holding
him bleeding all over the place.
That's not going to come out.
No, that's with you now. That's part of your shirt now.
I took my spit and I was like trying to rub it out. And then I'm like, hold on, I might be cross-contaminating here.
Oh, yeah. As long as you don't then put it back in your mouth and continue to do it.
But man, he was fast. He stood down, went toe-to-toe with Ante Delija. Now, there was a lot of jabs, and it was basically two people just jabbing each other at the same time, but Spivak, he beat him fair and square.
Fair
he
and
looked
square.
way faster, way more improved. He seems to have been around forever. He's fought some of the best. Granted, he's lost those fights to people like Tom and Cyril Gahn and people like that.
The best.
The best
guys. Yeah.
But he's improving. He looked phenomenal. So fair play to him, man.
Yeah, his striking was on point. I mean, we went in there, me and you both, I think during the walks, talked about how the speed advantage was going to be pretty significant for Ante Delia, and it was not. It looked at it first, but then Spivak, even though maybe he's not even the faster fighter or the faster boxer out there, but his timing, his straight shots, his movement for a big guy, man, he was on point. And he did every now and then mix in some wrestling, wasn't really successful with it, but just enough to kind of keep him guessing. And then Delia made a couple mistakes at one point. Remember, he had Spivak on the fence. He was a little bit hurt, and he clinched up with him, and he gave the polar bear a chance. He reversed him, and then right back to the boxing. I was really impressed with that fight. And that was a fight where I was like, either it's going to be Delia knocking him out or Spivak's going to control him on the ground, and maybe it's not going to be the most exciting fight. It's a damn good stand-up affair between two heavyweights that went the distance.
No, it was an entertaining fight. All right, so here we are. Time for the main event review of the one and only Sean Strickland. The man's unique. There's not another person like him. He's got the wild personality. He's very controversial. He talked a lot of shit about a lot of subjects that he didn't need to talk about leading up to the fight, because that's what he does. That's his shtick. That's Sean Strickland. We'll get to the fight in a minute. I think that he won a lot of people over with his post-fight speech because the words that he said to Fluffy, you're a better man than I'll ever be. You're a father. You're a husband. You're an incredible fighter. I thought that was really refreshing to see that from Sean, and I appreciated it.
Yeah, it's so funny when you deal with Sean Strickland because you do get this brash, I'm going to say the most controversial, out of left field type shit that you can imagine. But then you're right. He flipped it in there. And even in our fighter meetings, in our interviews with him, he came in, he gave us every bit of information that we needed. He answered any question that we had. He wasn't talking shit. He wasn't standoffish. He wasn't a grump at all. He was very professional in there. And then he was super complimentary of Fluffy afterwards. And it just goes to show you that I think he knows he's going to get a rise out of people when he says all this shit. And yeah, maybe he believes in some of the stuff he's saying, but he knows what he's doing. He's purposely being controversial. It gets people interested. People want him out of the UFC. And they're not going to get rid of him because he says outlandish shit.
There was all these people going, Paramount, I've got to pull the plug on this fight. This is ridiculous.
Why? Because you don't agree with what he's saying? Like, I hate that.
It's ridiculous, right? Yeah. Listen, Sean, I think he's having a bit of fun, right? Yeah. He's performative in those moments, and he's having a laugh with it. Now, some of the stuff, yeah, sure, it's really offensive. But if that offends you, just ignore it. Right? It's not going to hurt you. That's Sean Strickland. You know what he's going to say. He's out there. He's got a microphone in his hand. He's leaning into the character. He's causing controversy on purpose. He's getting people to talk about him, also getting people to talk about the fight as well. Some people love it. Some people absolutely detest it. And if you're so offended by that, then Jesus Christ, relax, bro. Relax. Yeah. There's a lot of people. There's 9 billion people on this planet. Not everyone is going to agree with what you say. And his words don't matter. If you don't like him, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, don't watch him. Did you hear the pop from the crowd in that arena?
Yep, I did.
Fluffy got a big pop at the weigh-ins. Sean got a really big pop for that main event. I mean, I think the crowd was louder for him there than they were for Hernandez, which I thought was going to be the opposite way around, being, we're in Texas. I know he's a California guy, but he's got the Mexican heritage. He's proud of that. They were talking about it at the weigh-ins, but then, man, people were there to see both guys, to be fair. They both got a lot of love. But people love watching Sean Strickland.
Yeah. Excuse me, my voice is raspy today, so it wasn't yesterday. I don't know why it is today, but anyway. The fight. I thought Sean looked a little different here. This time he was more aggressive. Obviously, uses the jabs and the teeps. We know that. But he was going to work with the right hands a lot sooner than what he usually does, doing a really good job of fighting on his back foot. Excuse me. But the footwork was beautiful because we all knew Fluffy had to get on the inside, get past the jab, throw a few punches, a few combinations, get Sean to defend, and then shoot him for the legs. But he couldn't Because anytime he tried to do that, Sean would circle away perfectly. He wasn't predictable in the direction that he would choose. He would go back a couple of steps, left or right, completely get away, force Fluffy to reset. And then from there, it was a boxing match. I don't think, did he manage to get Sean down at all? I think maybe for a split second, but he shot straight back up.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know if he did for any significant period of time. I'd have to look at the stats, but yeah, I don't know if he did.
And then he was piecing him up on the feet. And don't get me wrong, Fluffy had his moments. And I'm a big fan of Fluffy. So I would never, ever sit here and disrespect him. He had moments. He showed toughness. He got a congratulations from me that I got a lot of shit for. I'm like, congratulations on a great performance.
Such an instinct to say that after interviewing somebody. So
I know. Brainwashed into. I should have said congratulations on a valiant effort.
Yeah. And a great fight. And a good fight.
He gave it a good go. He did his best. He showed up, but it wasn't enough. And the knee from Strickland in the third round.
Fluffy is the fact that, Sean does throw a lot of kicks and things to the body. Michel Pereira hurt him to the body. Kevin Holland hurt him badly and finished him to the body. It's a weakness for him, no doubt. And we mentioned it when we did that breakdown too. But Sean made so many corrections when we were watching all that tape. Like me and you talked about how we had to do a little breakdown for the main event between Anik and the producers and stuff to get kind of ahead of things on what to look out for. And one of the things I noticed with Dricus du Plessis is Sean didn't do a good job of circling off and controlling the center of the octagon. He 100% did on Saturday night. We talked about how he doesn't throw the right hand enough early enough. When he does, he's successful with it and he hurts guys. He did that on Saturday night. It's funny, Mike, when I saw Eric after the fight in the cage, I was yelling at him when you were like getting in there to do the interview when we were muted. And I was like, hey, how long have you been trying to get him to finally open up like this? He's like, bro, when he opens up, fuck, he's dangerous, man.
Yeah, he looked in phenomenal shape as well. You always talk about Fluffy, though. And again, not being disrespectful, Fluffy, I don't know if it's like maybe, I think it was like originally a bit of a joke because he was a little heavier and he's a little softer. And certainly in the midsection, he's not the most ripped athlete. Right. I'm not saying the man's out of shape, far from it, but you know what I'm saying? He hasn't got the big six pack and all the rest of it. It makes me wonder because, by the way, the six packs, it's not only to look good. Number one, you need the muscles in your core to generate speed and movement and power and in your punches and defend takedowns. But also, when you get hit to the body, the wall of muscle will protect you. That's why you see boxers or in Rocky training montages doing hundreds and hundreds of sit-ups and stuff. You do them for a reason. And he's a little soft there. He's a little fluffy there. And he went on an 8-fight win streak. But should he drop down to welterweight? Because I think he could make welterweight. He would then, do a few sit-ups along the way as well. But if he could do that at middleweight, I'm telling you, he would be a real problem for the welterweight division. Yeah,
Sean did look significantly bigger in there. But, I guess when you're on that roll, you don't even think about those things because things are going your way. I mean, obviously, Michel Pereira was looking bigger in there. Delidze looked significantly bigger in there against him. Brendan Allen is probably bigger than him in there, and he's had tons of success. But I think now that you're reaching that top 5 of the division, you're going to start to have, like, Dricus would be a lot bigger and stronger potentially in there.
Khamzat.
And the speed on Imavov is going to give. Izzy's huge. Yep. Joe Pyfer. Yeah. These are guys that could give him a lot of trouble. And now that's who he's in there with now. I don't know. I wonder how much he walks around at and how much of a lifestyle change it would take for him. The PI could help him out with that if he went in and and they could definitely tell him you could lose some body fat, no doubt about it. And again, no disrespect.
Yeah.
When it's working, it's working. But now that you've got a chance to maybe take a step back and think, okay, where do I go from here? I don't know.
Well, that's what you got to do when you lose a fight. And I've told this story a million times. When I had my first loss to Rashad, I wasn't cutting weight. I was eating noodles and drinking Sprite. He was in the sauna killing himself. So when I lost that fight at 205, I'm like, okay, I'm not making all of the sacrifices that I can make to be the best. And that's what Fluffy wants to be. And he's got the potential. And I'm not saying he can't do it. Just because you get one setback doesn't mean you got to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
But you got to sit down with your team and just have an honest, open conversation and look at it. And as you say, talk to the PI because they're the experts and they'll tell him if he can do it in a safe manner or not. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Shopify, and I just want to say this. If you are sitting at home and you have a business idea, you want to get a business off the ground, or you want to take your existing business, whatever it is, you want to take it online, you want an e-commerce platform, you want to take payments by every single major payment method all over the planet and have all eyes on the planet be able to see it, it's never been easier than with Shopify. It is so cheap, affordable, easy, and professional to do it with Shopify. Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world. And right now you can get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. You can get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. You can easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your e-commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. So what more are you waiting for? So if you've got an idea, make it a reality and do it very simply and cost effectively with Shopify. And right now, you can sign up to Shopify for $1 per month for a trial period. $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/believe. Go to shopify.com/believe. That is shopify.com/believe. Right. Sean Strickland. Is he America's best shot chance of getting a gold belt, of being a champion in the UFC right now? Yes, we have Kayla Harrison. I know. In the men's divisions, I don't think there's any other American champions. Is Sean Strickland the best chance that America has of taking a gold, taking a belt?
I mean, I think he is, but unfortunately, I just don't know. I don't know if it gets done against Khamzat. I do think if he can get himself together and if he actually defends that belt, I think he keeps the belt. Unfortunately for Sean, as much as I love him. But yeah, who else? I mean, who at lightweight? Gaethje. Well, I mean, I think we agree that if he fights Ilya, it's going to go way of Ilya. 145. Who's our closest 145 contender?
145. Well, it's Volk, Movsar, Lopez, Lerone, Rodriguez, Aljamain Sterling at 5, Jean Silva, Arnold Allen. So you're resting your hopes on Aljo.
One guy.
It's an international sport. Holy shit. Lightweight, yeah. Justin, then it's Arman, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway. I mean, he could do it. Benoit Saint-Denis, Paddy Pimblett, he's in the notes. We'll talk about him later. He wants to fight with Benoit.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah, Sean is the guy because, I mean, he's realistically the one that should be next if Imavov and Khamzat fight. If Khamzat isn't able to fight and he moves up or is out for long enough and they decide to move on from him, then Sean definitely is the guy. Because if it's Sean and Imavov, well, we know how that one already went down one time before.
I was with Khamzat last week doing the Jackson podcast. That's where I do a bit of moonlighting. As I said, he's down there training, but he's huge. Yeah. He's massive. And I think he said he was about 240. He might have said he said 240 because I asked him and I was blown away. He's 240 pounds right now. And I'll be honest, he's not a fat 240
No, I saw clips of it. So when I saw clips of that, and then you told me what he said he weighed. And you're right. He doesn't look like he's sloppy right now.
No. And that's what I said. I said, when I was middleweight, heaviest I got in between fights, and I used to do the Ricky Hatton, the Paddy Pimblett thing. I used to get really fat and out of shape. I got up to 230 and I was 233. I was filming The Ultimate Fighter season 9 or 14 or whatever. And I had a little workout and I had a shower and I only had my undies on. I came out and I ripped my shirt off and jumped on the scale and the cameras come running over. I'm like, get fucked. No way. You're not getting me on camera right now because I am definitely not camera ready. And I was 233. This guy's 240 in shape.
Yeah, that's scary, man. I've gotten up to 200 pounds as a lightweight. I've gotten up to 200 pounds in between fights. But you're right. I'm the same as you. I was in shape, like I was training, but holy shit, I was
Let me ask you, with you not drinking alcohol right now, have you lost weight?
Yeah, but but just because of all the other shit that I'm doing mainly. I mean, today I checked my weight and I was 175. So I am down a bit because right after hip surgery and when I was lifting a little more, I was up to like 180 again. But yeah, I'm usually anywhere from 175 to 180 right now is pretty much where I sit. And I kind of fluctuate up and down a little bit, but a little lighter.
I can't imagine. I've never seen you like a little pudgy. Have you ever been pudgy?
Since I stopped fighting, I haven't really been that pudgy. But when I was fighting, isn't that funny how that works? When I was actively still a professional fighter and an athlete, I was heavier than I am not now as just a retired 41-year-old guy.
I follow a strict diet. I work out almost every single day. You know, I definitely do keep an eye on my alcohol intake.
Yeah. When
I was fighting, I did not give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
Didn't care whatsoever.
Because we did those cuts, man. And when we had to do that cut, I'm just the same with you. As soon as that shit was done, all I could not wait to do was drink beers, eat fucking cheeseburgers, eat pizza, eat sweets, do that over and over again, because I knew I only had a limited amount of time to do that, because then it was going to be, okay, I've got another fight booked, I've got another fight camp, and I've got to cut all that weight.
I think there's something else to it though as well. I think it's as you age and as you get older and you mature.
Well, yeah,
when you get older, it's harder to lose the weight.
Yeah.
You make smarter decisions. You've got more life experience. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Start factoring in your long-term health. You know what I'm saying? I booked an appointment to have a colonoscopy this morning.
Yeah, I got to do that. I want to do it early. I know it's supposed to be like 45, but my mom with colon cancer, it's like, hopefully I can get them to do it for me a little earlier than normal.
Because we had dinner with Zach the other night and he was like, when you're meant to get to 40, you're supposed to book a colonoscopy. So I had a doctor's appointment via telehealth, like a Zoom this morning.
Yeah.
By the way, they kept me waiting for 45 minute, which was very, very, very stressful.
Oh.
It's not like it's the NHS where they're charging me a pretty penny, but whatever. 45-minute wait. And then we said what we needed to say. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to book a colonoscopy. She goes, right, we'd love to make an appointment. I'll send you a letter with a referral. And then when you get there, then you'll have to wait 3 months. And I went, why? And they went, well, that's just how long it takes. I went, right, okay. And she goes, and it gives you time to prepare. I said, what do you mean prepare? She goes, well, they stick a camera up your ass. I'm like, oh, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Me and Dan Hooker have got no problem with sticking a camera up our ass. You know, we're good. Oh, that was not on purpose. That was not a build-up. That was not a segue. Oh, shit.
That's good.
God. It just popped in the
I was hoping we could tie Dan Hooker's jokes in here somehow, man.
We got to do it. We'll talk about that real quick. Oh, my God. In fact, screw it. I was going to get Harrington to jump on and give his thoughts on the fight night, and he can do that in a minute. But you might have saw last weekend, it's all over the internet. Because otherwise I wouldn't talk about another man's personal business. But it's all over the internet, and Dan's kind of owning it. Some woman's come out claiming that she was the mistress and whatever, and he was paying for her lifestyle or whatever. I don't know. Allegedly, according to this woman, it's not AI. It doesn't seem like. And then she stopped the relationship because she cheated on him with a dude. Yeah. And then Dan comes out and his response, oh, what I miss? What? So I'm gay now?
I'm gay now. Bro, you got to love Dan's response to all this. And the father-in-law is making videos out there too, like calling him a piece of shit and threatening him. It's just like, oh, that's where I'm like, that's where it's unfortunate, right? If it's just Dan and it doesn't involve a family and all this kind of stuff, but Dan, you want to talk about a dude that just lets shit roll off of him? That's Dan Hooker. To come out and that's your response. Oh, so I'm gay now.
That's so I'm gay now. And then obviously there's a lot of people talking about the team in general. I forget who it was. What did I see? Because obviously, people have made insinuations about Izzy and Dan Hooker, and there's some other stuff, you know what I mean? So Well, yeah, somebody's like, this is the most sus team out there. It's like, you got I think that's what I saw.
Olberg, who was a male stripper. You got Izzy, who's got all his rumors and dog things and nails and all that kind of stuff. Now you got Dan, who's apparently hiring male escorts and all this kind of nonsense, and he's got a whole side piece that he's paying for.
Hey, fighters, men of culture, as Uros Medic says. The reason he said that, we were at a candlelight. There's these things called candlelight performances or something. Have you seen these on social media? You must have seen them. Or maybe your algorithm's a little different to mine. But
not as cultured.
It's not as cultured. I love a bit of classical music. I actually do. And they tour around all over the country, and you go there and it's very dimly lit and it's all lit up by candle lights. And it's typically in some like historic building and it's really nice. And then they play so it's a very nice cultured evening. And I went there and bumped into Uros Medic. And he's like, I always knew, look, Michael, fighting men, we are men of culture. And I'm like, I think it's Uros Medic. I think so. Because I wasn't sure because he's gigantic. Yeah. How that guy made lightweight is beyond me. There we go.
Oh, nice wow. That's a good date night right there.
Correct. A nice night. You go there, it's nice and early. Then you take the wife for a nice dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
That's how you make it to 27 years sticking with Michael Bisping. That's not easy. God bless her. Rebecca, come here. Oh, she's pulling her face. She's pulling her face. Come over here. Rebecca hasn't been on the podcast for a while. She mentioned this.
It's been too long.
It's been too long. Come on, babe. She's like,
hi. Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
I laugh because I could just tell every time that Michael drags you in here, you're like, okay, here I am.
I'm here.
Say hi to the believers.
Hi, believers.
It's been why haven't you been on the podcast in a while?
Because you're all about Paul. You don't care about me anymore.
Well, Paul ditched me. He wouldn't come and have a drink with me Saturday night after the fight.
That is a cardinal sin in Michael's book.
I know.
Sadly, Rebecca, Uros Medic. Remember we saw Uros?
I do remember. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
That was a random meeting.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, we have a guest, Rebecca. Time for you to leave. Yeah. Get out of here because we have the one, the only, the doctor, the man of culture.
The man of culture.
The knockout artist, one of the most violent men in all of mixed martial arts. And that is not a joke. A 100%.
Let's go.
Kill or be killed. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Paul, what else have you got?
I don't know.
Hey, I'm ready to fight again. Like, you cannot just hype me up like that. Like, we're about to fight somebody. Somebody's going to get their ass beat right now.
Hey, Uros, thanks for joining us, man. I was sitting on the plane. Uros walks on, and I was like, oh, shit, podcast. And then, of course, like the true gentleman that he is, didn't hesitate for a single second. Uros, man, wins don't get much bigger or better or more impressive. Jeff Neal's a really tough guy. We all know that. You know that. We'll get to more about you in a minute, but talk us through Saturday night, man, because that was spectacular.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. Thanks for inviting me. I mean, you guys, as many of these fights I had, you guys have been in the octagon, either watching or commentating, or you guys have some credit with all of my interviews that I've done because you guys asked the right questions and you stood there next to me. So thank you for that as well. Saturday night, I mean, I'm still processing it. Obviously, a lot has happened. I think the effect of having a word with the president played a bigger role than anything else. And
yeah. Just explain that for everyone watching here. Tell that story, please. So I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, I'm still blown away with everything that happened. I have asked for some help with immigration in my post-fight interview, as some people may have seen. And as soon as I got back to do the photos and interviews, they called me back to the office, or it was a lounge. I'm not sure what it is. It's in the back, like where Dana was and some other people. And Dana turns on the speakerphone. He said, "Mr. President, he's right here." And Mr. President just starts congratulating me. And he said it was a good fight. And then Neal is a tough cookie. And I just knocked him out. And I back some power. And I just I was just blown away. I could have expected many things, but I would not expect to just have a word with him like that. And I said, "Mr. President, I love you. The Serbians, we love you. We always have. You've married one of us. The first lady is Slovenian. That used to be one country where she grew up and where even, I mean, when I was born, it already was kind of separating. They're all going for themselves. Slovenia became a country, Croatia, all of that, and ex-Yugoslavia kind of fell apart. But First Lady speaks Serbian fluently and understands it. And I've seen interviews where she talks to people in Serbian. So, looking at her growing up, knowing who she is, and then obviously she was married to Mr. President, it feels like one of us, So I just told him that we just loved him, and I thanked him for the opportunity to be in this country and everything that people do here. It's absolutely amazing. I've had the most amazing time in these past 11 years, and I get it that immigration is not an easy thing. It's just complicated, a lot of bureaucracy and politics and just a lot of paperwork and a lot of hands that paperwork has to go through to reach the end point.
Yeah.
Anyways, he said, "Hey, you are good to go wherever you need to travel. Your gates are open for you like they are for President of the United States." And I'm like, I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, yeah, somebody needs to pinch me because I don't know what to say, And I just said, thank you so much. And I said, I'll be ready for whatever you guys need me, whatever you need me. So we're going UFC Serbia, UFC Whitehouse, whatever. I'm all in, I don't even know when the UFC Whitehouse is. I know it's coming up, but I'm not sure when exactly it is.
It'll be in June. I think the end of June.
In June. Okay. Well, that kind of the time frame doesn't really add up with Serbia, because Serbia is usually be like August, September. So if I did fought in June, it'll be a little harder to get in again in Serbia in August. Well, maybe not. It's already 3 months, June, July, August. Yeah, we'll see. Whatever they say, I'm always game, man. I've never said no to a fight. I've always said, like, let's do it as long as I'm healthy. I have had a couple of injuries that hadn't stopped me from fighting. But early on in the career, I have fought a couple of fights where I was hurt, and I told myself I'm never going to do that again. That's not worth it. Now that we reached the top 15, I'm going to do everything in my power to stay maximum health and wellness, and just keep training really hard because at that point you're 3 fights from the gold.
Yeah.
Three good fights on a good day. On a good day, you could jump in on a right notice. You will be there and make another statement, and people will recognize it. And one other statement after that, they're not going to be able to deny me. Like not me because I'm just a guy, but anybody. If you find yourself in a situation, you capitalize and you say the right things, you call the right people. I mean, shit, we've seen it last Saturday. I just launched myself into top 15.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted you to tell that Donald Trump story because it is kind of incredible. But take me back to Saturday night. How did that feel? Jeff Neal, was that the plan? It seems like it's always the plan. I'm sorry, Paul, you get the next question. I'm hogging it. But yeah, Saturday night, Jeff Neal, you just knocked him out in 1 minute and 19 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't think anybody should be surprised that I knock people out in 1 minute. Like, it happened in most of my fights, The first exchange, we as soon as I get to them, I'm very explosive. I pack a punch. I'm powerful. I know and I believe in it. That's the another add-on to that power is I believe in it. And I know when it connects, it's going to hurt. And even if it doesn't knock him out immediately, I know how to, when I smell and taste the blood, I know how to go without going insane, which happened in a couple of my fights in the past. So like I would go crazy. I didn't even know what I'm throwing, Those are first fights early on. But at this point, if I hurt somebody, it's very unlikely they recover. Very, very unlikely. And I don't know how many of people noticed. I hurt Neal with a short right hook. In our first exchange, he closed the distance. I threw 2 and 3, and I hit him right on the chin with a hook. And he just wobbled tiny little bit, and I saw it. And when I saw that, I started pushing forward. He was backing up. I threw another front kick. And when we closed the distance, the next exchange, I was able to knock him out. So that's something I take a lot of pride in, is being able to recognize and not overcommit and not go insane and just gas myself out, but recognize it and then pick my shots and just boom, knock him out.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And when we watched the replay back too, it was just right on the temple. It was like you didn't even overswing. It was just nice timing, and the speed was on point that night too. And Uros, when you think, okay, the Whitehouse, but really Serbia, I know is on your bucket list. We talked to you about it at the fighter meetings too. Is there anybody in that top 15 now that you look at and think, okay, I'd love to fight them in Serbia? This guy, is there maybe even a couple guys who's on your radar of like, fuck, this is who I want to dance with next?
Yeah, obviously, Leon Edwards was one of the names that came up to my mind first. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned him in a post-fight interview, and also he is close enough to Serbia. He's in England, and European crowd, they love it, and I know a lot of English people would show up, and I know it would be a good scrap as well because Leon is an excellent fighter and a former champion, and I think a road that I would like to pave is beating former champions to reach the champion. So if I can fight, let's say, Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad, JDM, and then Makhachev would be my, like, oh, this is how I would want to do it. Because there's no denying then. You beat one former champion, the next former champion, and the next former champion. Who's going to tell me no? If they tell me you can't fight for a belt, I'll tell them, well, I don't want to fight ever again then, But there's no denying it. Like, you cannot, if you beat 3 former champions, you cannot deny somebody a championship fight, Yeah. Again, we'll see time frame, injuries, availability, all these factors that play a role. I'll make myself available. I don't know what they have in plan. I think fights that are good as well are Ian Gary. I think I would beat him. I've been saying that for years back, but he's been ahead of me in the rankings always, and I just wouldn't even make sense to make that fight. Even now he's ahead of me. He's up in the top, like almost number 3 or 2 or 1, whatever he is in a contender. But in my opinion, I would beat him. I'm sure that's a normal thing to think as a fighter. You would beat everybody. But, I'm pretty confident in my abilities, and I think he would be one of the fighters. And we're similar age as well. I think it would be a competitive fight. I mean, obviously, Pratis is a great fight as well. I think it would be an amazing fight, and I would love that fight for myself as well. If that can put me closer to the belt, he's got a lot of eyes on him, and I think he's an amazing striker. But I think I'm better. I think my exchanges are better. I think I am faster. He might be slightly longer than me, but I've fought longer fighters before as well. So if that's something they'd be interested in making, I'd be all about that fight too, because I think I would be able to knock him out. Like, for instance, he fought like Ian Gary, who's another striker, but Ian doesn't really exchange too much. The problem with fighting Ian Gary, you gotta chase him around the octagon the whole fight, which is annoying. I wouldn't want to chase somebody around the whole fight. Like, brother, if you came here to fight and you signed a contract, they pay you good money to do that. The fuck are you doing running around? Well, and he won like last 3-4 fights like that, just running around, trying to hug, run, score some kicks, and then here's a split decision for Ian Gary. Like, who the fuck wants to see that? I don't want to. I've never once watched it.
There we go. So, this is what we want to hear. By the way, Ian Gary is currently in Tbilisi, Georgia. Make of that what you will, working on his wrestling, from what I understand.
Good for him. I think that's a great idea, yeah.
When it comes to you, as you say, you're not stranger into beating people in a minute. Jeff Neal, 1 minute 19. Muslim Salikov, minute or 3. Gilbert Urbina, 1 minute 3. Tim Means, 2 minutes. Sebelsberger, 2 minutes. Omar, all right, round 2, 3 minutes. But whatever, you get the point that I'm making. And then in the ones that you have lost, and there's only 3 of them, so there's absolutely no shame in that, and you're flying right now. They've been like wild exchanges as well. Is there something about, I mean, what is it? What is your mentality or something that happened in your life or your background that makes you like just this all-out action fighter? I mean, I was the same way, so I'd like to hear it from you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything to happen. I just think I have this love for the sport and energy for it, and I recognize that crowd enjoys it, and they pay their money to come see this. This is an entertainment sport, and my job is to provide this entertainment for you, and that's what I've been doing. I may not have this, tattooed face and crazy hair and this and that. I don't have that aspect of the game. It's not me to do it, right? But what I can do for you is I can entertain you by fighting really hard, and I can maybe give you some motivational words and try to encourage you to be a better person, because that's what I live by, and I try to do my best to be a better person. So it would not align with my values to go insane and try to be this controversial person, because I'm not, and in this sport that sells a lot, and I am aware of it, but I'm not willing to go that far, even at the cost of career. Like, I don't care that much. I do it because I love it. It was my hobby most of my life, and I'm blessed enough to get the opportunity to make a living out of the hobby as a foreigner in this country who came here as a 22-year-old for $600 and now is fighting Top Contender, headlining Houston card, like where the Rockets play basketball. And I remember as a kid, my uncle used to work in, he's retired, used to work in oil field companies, and he was an engineer in oil field companies. So trainings would be done in Houston because it's a lot of oil field work there. So he would go there for some training and comes back home, brings me this big ass jersey, says #1, Tracy McGrady, Rockets. I need to find a picture of this. 20 years later, I'm in the Houston Rockets arena, headlining it and making an absolute show that night. So it's just, it's amazing for me to be able to go through these things and sit back, reflect, and be like, wow, what? And my father was a javelin thrower, and he was supposed to go to LA for Olympic trials or whatever it was. This was many, many, many years ago. He was probably 18 or 20. He was really good competitor. He had an injury and that ended his career. But I end up in LA, Orange County, living, where he was. So there's always these some weird routes and circles in life that kind of connect us. When I reflect to all of that, I just think it's absolutely amazing, So I'm blessed with these opportunities, and I try to make the best of it.
No, I think you are, dude, and I think you nailed it on the microphone. Houston, we have a problem, and it's me. And you talk about not wanting to kind of alter your image or do anything to be this superstar, Uros, and you're doing it genuinely through being yourself, which is always going to get you more fans and more attention if you can be who you are and bring that to the next level and use your fighting and then use your own personality on the microphone. And brother, you did it, man. You probably gained a lot of fans on Saturday night. Me and Michael already fans. We've seen you knock many people out, but to go out there and not only perform the way you did inside of the octagon, but then get to perform on the microphone and then talk to the president and potentially get all the visa stuff that you need. It was a good night.
But also as well, you were fighting Jeff Neal in Texas. So that was like, you were definitely you weren't the home favorite, let's just put it like that. You knock him out in a minute. And you turned the crowd and you had them eating out of the palm of your hand because you were so respectful, but you were engaging, you were charismatic, you had a beautiful message to say. And then the people of Texas are cheering for you after you've just knocked out one of their own. So my advice to you, Uros, would be don't change a damn thing, brother, because it is working. And of course, you're being true to yourself.
Thank you. Hey, listen, there was another side of that medal too. I was ready for hate from the crowd. I know I'm not American. The guy that I'm fighting is, and he's home, so I expected, all right, they're going to hate me. So I have actually lived in Texas for about 6 months in Midland, Odessa, West Texas. I have many good friends there. I loved it. I enjoyed it, So I was going to mention that as well. It just conversations just went flying. I don't even remember. But in the back pocket, I had a card that I was going to pull. Had they kept hating on me and booing me, I would have said, because I lived in Alaska all these years, I would have said, if we cut Alaska in half, Texas would have become third largest state in the United States. And I think that would have just wrecked the fans. But I love it. Texas is amazing, and I don't have nothing against them. And they've been so nice to me and respectful. I just thought it would be funny had they been hating on me. I would have pulled the Alaska card on them.
You were ready to play the heel.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was amazing. And some of the guys from West Texas showed up for me as well. And they were there. We took some pictures after. 10 years ago, I lived there for about 6 months just because some of my friends that I know from Europe lived there. So they're like, come visit us, come stay with us, come check this out. We got good friends here. So I did. And after all these years, they, remember me and they come. We haven't been hanging out in all these 10 years. I've been living in Alaska, now in California. So I haven't never seen him since then. And they came to visit and see the fight, and they know me, and it's been amazing. It's really, really nice to see them again.
I know you train with Benil and you live in Orange County. Where in Orange County do you live?
Well, I'm in Fountain Valley right now.
That's right. You told me that on the plane.
Yeah. I'm in Fountain Valley right now, but I train with Benil in Anaheim, and we run some sprints out in Yorba Linda. So we're around Orange County all the way. Like,
that's my neck of the woods, bro. I know. Basically in Yorba Linda. It's across the street.
That's how men of culture have crossed their paths in Yorba Linda watching the orchestra. Exactly. I came across Michael. He was watching some orchestra, and I was there with my girlfriend, and he was with his wife on a date, and we crossed paths. And I look at him in the crowd. I'm like, man of culture. That's you would think you see a fighter at the fights, which is common, right? But you're seeing one at the orchestra or musical. That's different,
we fighters were like onions. We have many different layers. We'll have to let you go in a second, Uros, because we also have Jacobe Smith jumping on. Serbia. I think Paul's going to be calling that fight if it does go down. I don't think I am. And I'm very jealous because I'm sure it's a beautiful place. But is there some recommendation for Paul or even me if I go? And just tell us a little bit about life in Serbia.
It's good, man. The social level is way higher than here. Like, as far as people going out, spending time in the bars together, generational friendships, like where I grew up, people have been third, fourth generation friends. Like, I have known their fathers, grandfathers, they've been friends. Most of the friends I grew up with, our fathers went to school together. So there's a lot of that layered, deep friendships, and people are like, celebrating a lot there. So there's a lot of eating and drinking, and you can bet there's going to be a lot of that when you go to visit anytime. And there's a lot of good food. So if you guys find yourselves there and I'm there, I'm going to make sure you're well taken care of, and we'll go eat some good food and drink some good drinks. And it's very nice. It's very nice. It flies under the radar. People it's growing fast. Obviously, I haven't been there in amount of years, but it's been growing really, really fast, and people are making more money. Economy is better. Obviously, if UFC is coming to visit, that doesn't happen in
that's a good
undeveloped places.
Like that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's huge. And then obviously, World Championship amateurs, I think twice already there. The IMMAF or whatever it is. It's huge. And we already are sports fans. You probably have heard of some names in basketball. Serbia is a land of basketball. We have some of the best basketball players in the world, like Jokic, Bogdanovic.
I've heard of them, and I know nothing about basketball.
Yeah, well, that's the land of the basketball. That's, we have 7 million people, and we play finals in the World Championship against 370 million people, United States, that plays NBA. So that should tell you a lot of, and we have a 100% Serbian team. No outsiders, born and raised Serbians playing basketball against United States that has 370 million people. Like, that's the odds of that in mathematics doesn't fucking add up. Like, that's how good basketball is in Serbia. Compared to everybody wants to come to the United States to play basketball. Eventually they become citizens, play World Championship for United States. In Serbia, it's a lot different, but we do have some good basketball players. That's a fact.
Yeah. And what is a classic Serbian dish? Like England, roast beef, Yorkshire pudding is your staple, typical old-fashioned English dish. What is a Serbian meal? A classic?
Yeah, you guys are known for your.
He was just about to insult the Queen's food, right? I will not have him slander.
What do you think? Phone call?
3 weeks later.
Were you about to talk shit about British food, Uros?
A little bit. I mean, some of the British food made the finest sailors in the world.
Well. You mean when we dominated the entire world, the planet?
Hey, the Navy,
known to the human race, the British Empire. Yeah, that's right. A lot of them did get scurvy because they were out dominating.
I guess, yeah. You guys had some of the best Navy. Okay, that's a fact. That's why you guys conquered most of the world. It was one of the best navies in the world, if I recall history correctly.
Yeah, we have great food as well. We do.
Yeah,
But
no,
anyway.
of course, I'm joking. But Serbia has amazing food. Obviously, throughout history of time, every empire that's ever been has fought war with Serbia. And when you fight wars with Serbia, you eventually pick up some of it from it, right? We take some from them, they take some from us. So that created the finest cuisine, in my opinion. A lot of comfort food, lots of meats, lots of mixed meats, lots of veggies. Pljeskavica is a dish. It's like a burger. It's just a lot bigger, and you kind of get to pick your own ingredients that go in it. Like they'll offer you tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, whatever you want. Burger in America is a burger. It comes the same all the time. Burgers in Serbia are slightly different. You get to choose what you want, mayo on it, you want sour cream, whatever, all kinds of things. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of stew. Goulash, paprika, Hungarian influence from goulash, obviously. Then we have sarma, which is influenced from Turkey. The rolled cabbage rolls with meat, filled with meats. Then down from Greece, lots of lamb. So, in my opinion, the best cuisine, but I am absolutely biased.
Of course.
Yeah. Northern Serbia has a lot of smoked meats. My father has a smokehouse. He smokes meats almost year round. He's borderline crazy when it comes to it, but he does really good job. And his friends are loving it. They buy it from him. He gives them away. He brought some when he visited. It's the best I've ever had. But then again, that's all I know.
Well, Uros, it sounds delicious. I can't wait to go sometime. You've got my number. Keep in touch. Maybe I'll swing by the gym one day. Congrats on everything. I'm sure your father that you mentioned is very proud. I'm sure the country of Serbia is extremely proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. Thank you so much. Today. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Take care.
Thanks, dude.
All the best, brother. What a nice guy.
He's a good guy, and he's a badass fighter. He's a badass fighter.
All right, today's episode is sponsored by Underdog, and Underdog is a fantasy game and a game of skill where you can make yourself some money. Now, playing on Underdog is very easy. Just pick whether your favorite players or fighters will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Maybe if it's an MMA fight, will they get more or less than 3 takedowns this round or that fight? Will they land a spinning back elbow more or less than 1? Stuff like that. You get the idea. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. That is crazy, but that's what you can do. It is very, very simple. Now, there's 2 types of ways you can play this game. There's ladders where you make 3 to 5 picks and progressively win more based on how well each pick performs. Win a little on a decent night and a lot on a great night, up to 250 times your money. Each pick has 3 rungs to hit, and all of your picks have to hit a rung to get that payout, or you can play streaks. Each streak starts by making 2 picks. If both are correct, the next pick for the streak becomes available. Get 11 and the prize is yours. So what are you waiting for? Download the Underdog app today. Use the promo code Bisping to score a giant $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That is the Underdog app. Download today. Use the code Bisping. Get $75 when you play your first $5, and that is only with the code Bisping. We got a few minutes before Jacobe Smith, who was another badass fighter.
That is for sure.
So should we get Harrington on and see if he's muted? What do we think?
I'm not muted. I would never be. I'm too busy sitting over here giggling to myself because he said he smokes meats year round, and I'm like, yeah, so does Dan Hooker.
I saw that in the chat over here.
Am I dumb or I don't get the joke?
Because smoking meat is a euphemism for putting some dude's schlong in your mouth.
See, I'm so unfamiliar with that process. I don't even know the slang for it.
They're not.
I don't know. We were on here talking about handsome fighters for a while. The comments on our podcast were hilarious. They're like, I didn't expect these guys to get that into this.
Well, in the words of Uros Medic, we are men of culture.
Yeah, we're not afraid to talk about it.
Admire the fine form of another gentleman. Only for a minute, though. That's it. So done. I tell you what, I'm sure Serbia's got some beautiful women as well. I'm sure there's lots of blonde-haired, blue-eyed. It's that part of the world, isn't it? Anyway, Harrington, no, get back on here.
Oh,
I see
never
what he
mind.
did. I see what he did. He left because we have one of the hottest prospects, and I will say that again, Jacobe Smith. Jacobe, you are a very dangerous, violent man, my friend.
Indeed. Indeed.
And hopefully not a man of few words.
I like to talk a little bit, a lot of bit.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
talking
for
a lot of
sure.
bit Saturday night, man. Dude, what a performance.
Yeah, got that performance bonus I've been seeking, you know. My family needed that, and we've been talking for a while, and it finally came to fruition.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, man. You get those bonuses now up to 100 grand, and then you go out there and you do what you did on Saturday night. You got on the microphone. You had a lot to say. Is that exactly how you planned Saturday to go? Did you know that it was going to be a good night for you? And did you expect it to be quite as devastating as you did? That, Jacobe, that was one of the most violent knockouts, especially from ground and pound, that I have ever seen, my friend.
Yeah, I expected it to go. I didn't want to do any wrestling, and my team was telling me he's gonna force some wrestling, like he's gonna go out here and try to wrestle you. And I was like, good luck. That's probably his worst thing he could do, even though that's pretty much his best thing he got going outside of that high left kick. But I thought I was gonna knock him out on the feet, and I was out there heavy footed and trying to force striking, you know, and everything just played out the way it did. I knew I was levels above this guy. It just was going out there and showing everybody else because everybody had a lot to say my last time out, being tired against Nico Price. I'm like, did y'all not see how tired this man was? Like,
Hey.
I did something.
Because I said that at the fighter meeting. Because you did get a little bit tired. That said, you still knocked or choked him out in the second round. It wasn't a criticism, but you learn, you evolve, you know, you mastered the craft. You know, you can't be a marathon runner and a sprinter at the same time. Yes, I know you're a great wrestler. Yes, I know you got the knockout power, but we are analysts and critiques, and you might have been breathing out your ass a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I just say I'm good at adapting to shit, and you know, fight camps can go perfect, fight camps can go bad, you know, but I mean, I'll never have an excuse, you know, but going out there, what I will say is I know how to adapt and deal with bullshit. And it was a lot of bullshit in that fight camp that, I mean, I don't want to say no excuses, but I mean, that just brought out how much tougher I know that I am within myself. So, I mean, it's not even just from you guys, the fans, you know, commenting, oh, he ain't got a gas tank, this and that. Like, I don't comment back, but I'm seeing all this shit, you know. It's just, I don't give it the time of day because I know where my heart is and I know who I am as a person.
And Jacobe, you talked to us a little bit before that fight in the fighter meetings about how you'd got some experience from different places, training with Daniel at AKA, a little bit at a time at Extreme Couture, and just kind of learning the game plan a little bit more and kind of be more strategic about how you're kind of trying to set traps and find things. Did you find that you were able to do that, or did you feel like you were just going on instinct again in there? Because it seemed like, you know, you talked about maybe trying to throw too much because you wanted to kill him in there. But again, you took your time. You weren't really going out there and throwing too wild. I thought you were setting things up nicely and letting him come to you a little bit too when it mattered. And that ultimately led to your big finish because it was him that initiated that takedown. And fuck, you just literally rolled out of it like it was nothing.
Yeah. We call that I didn't get the inside trip, the bite with my leg, but just a little inside trip. I call it the Dayton Fix special. But even in my wrestling career, man, I always had that problem of competing to my opponent's abilities. And that just goes to show that I'm able to adapt and put on exciting performances, you know, no matter the level of the guy, you know. So let's say I was in there striking and fighting Co, or give me somebody in the top 15, top 10, you know. you'll see a different version of me because I'm one of those dudes that I'm literally in there adapting off the fly. And it's a blessing more so than a curse because, even when people thought I wasn't ready for Division I wrestling, I could go out there and compete with the returning national champ and, lose the last second while I'm getting a takedown and people thinking I shouldn't be in that position. And then go out there and wrestle somebody that's, transferring in from a JUCO as I did myself. And, we going into overtime or me dropping a match like that. So I just always knew, I got the mindset, I got the skills, I got the ability. It's just, what do I want this to look like in this moment? And for the fans to, want to come back and remember me. So
obviously now you're 12-0. Three stoppages in a row in the UFC. You're undefeated. You're in your prime. You're 30 years old. Your wrestling accolades are off the charts. For anyone that doesn't know, just give just flex a little bit. Give us your wrestling accolades. State champion, wrestled at Oklahoma State. What else have you done? Because I know
I'm a U23 world silver medalist, 2-time junior college national champ, 1-time Division I Oklahoma State All-American, and I won Fargo, or not, I didn't win Fargo, but I was an All-American at Fargo a couple times in high school, which is a big deal. And, it runs in the family as well, got family members that's out there doing the same thing. My dad is he was drafted by NFL teams, and my mom was a junior Olympic volleyball player. So
wow. So
it runs in the blood.
You got the pedigree then.
Yeah.
So the wrestling is as good as it can be, right? Yeah, okay, maybe
sure.
you could have been an Olympic champion or whatever, but you see the point that I'm making, right? It's as good as you're going to get. You got the striking. You're training with people like Daniel Cormier. And when we spoke to you, and I wrote it down in my notes, it wasn't arrogance, but you have a lot of faith in your ability, and rightly so. And then what was that line that he said, Paul? You're not going to stop until you've got 10 million in your bank account?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I might not even stop then, but, $10 million in my bank account, 8 figures or so. I feel I'll be able to set in to place what I need to help my family, help break family curses, which is, my main goal of fighting. A lot of people got into this fight game to become world champ or prove to the world they're the best in the world. Not me. I know I'm up there amongst those greats, but I got to create opportunities for my family to, break curses and not deal with the struggle that we're dealing with in the real life, the real world, So this is just bonus for me because I'm doing what I'm good at. So I don't even call it a job or a career, I'm creating opportunities not only for myself, but for my family to get ahead in life.
And Jacobe, when we talked to you last week too, you mentioned that, before wrestling even, you said you already were a fighter. You knew how to fight. Were you a guy when you were younger? Were you a scrappy kid? Did you get into shit? Were you somebody that just knew how to knuckle up even before you became the kind of wrestler that you've become?
It could go either way because I was a mama's boy, man. and I had asthma real bad, and all my cousins and shit growing up, they were badasses. So I say around 8 or 9, 10, 11, around in there is when I actually started showing people, But my dad's cousin had kids that were around my age. He had 3 sons, and I was my daddy's only son. And it'd be times where, they'd have us wrestle each other in the living room at home. And, his daddy and my daddy, they arguing back and forth. And, I'm taking on each one of them one by one. And just, I got to this point where I could beat everybody in the household, and then the doctors released me middle school to go compete in sports. And I just took off from there.
That's crazy, man. You suffered from asthma, and then you went on this crazy run as a wrestler, now undefeated. There's going to be a lot of talk about you. Obviously, what you're doing to these people and the performance and the way that you finished, Josiah, we were talking about it earlier. You're probably aware he had the brain surgery, but he came back. He was on a 3-fight win streak outside of the UFC and certainly looked really, really good. And no disrespect to him, you went right through this guy. So the future is very bright for you, my friend. Is there someone that you want to fight next? Is there a name that you've got in mind?
Honestly, a lot of people think it's big for grabs, but I wouldn't mind going after like somebody like Carlos Pradas, Don't let him get a fight and somebody drop out, because I'm staying ready for those short notice calls, So right now, my main guy would probably be a Carlos Pradas.
Respectfully, you ain't gonna get that matchup.
Yeah, for sure, not right now.
So, like someone realistically in the rankings, you know what? And I'm not trying to be an asshole when I say that, but you know why I say that.
Yeah, for sure. He don't want to take that risk, for sure.
Exactly.
But what's his name? Is it Rodriguez?
Yeah, Daniel Rodriguez.
Daniel Rodriguez.
Funny, I was Jacobe. I've literally got the rankings, and that's the first name I looked at. I'm like, that's a fight that's in the top 15.
Yeah,
that might be willing to risk it.
And then I don't know if it's Mallet. Is he up there as well?
Mike Malott.
Where's he sitting at right now?
I don't think he's in the rankings. He's not ranked according to what I'm looking at here. But he's got a match coming up, right? He just got booked, Paul.
Yeah, he's fighting Gilbert Burns, I believe.
Gotcha. Well, if he wins that'll put him up there somewhere. But
yeah,
those names are on my radar. To be honest, I'll fight fucking anybody. I'm ready to go next week.
That's what I was going to ask you too.
And keep going.
I was going to ask you, Jacobe, do you feel like when you do what you've done so far in the UFC and you're kind of as scary as you are and you're out of the top 15, right? Do you feel like you're in that position where it's going to be tricky for you to get people that want to fight you that are in those rankings? Do you feel like you're not, and you kind of just said it, where you might just have to smash a couple more guys and then finally get on that microphone with whoever's interviewing you and like, what do I fucking got to do when I'm, 14-0 now with all finishes in the UFC? What do I got to do? And we've seen guys like that in your position before where it can be frustrating. Are you trying to not worry about that, right? Because it can be a little bit disheartening where you're like, I'm good enough to be fighting these guys and I'm not getting my opportunity.
With these performance bonuses like they are,
it don't matter, right?
Yeah, it don't, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. Just keep lining them up, and if you don't give me those top 15 guys, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And to be honest, I believe I'm doing the same thing to them as well. So it's whatever, because the UFC is a great business, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but my debut, I heard a lot of talk saying Preston Parsons got told if he didn't fight me, he was getting cut. So I'm like, damn, bro, I'm coming onto this scene and thinking, I'm about to start fighting the best in the world, and I'm still having the same problems I was having on the regional scene where people didn't want to fight me because they knew my capabilities. So I'm ready for whatever, man. As long as I'm getting offers, getting action, and making that money.
Yeah, well, stylistically, you are a problem for a lot of people. You train with Daniel Cormier, obviously a good friend of ours. We've known DC for years and years. We work with him all the time. But I want to hear you talk some shit about DC. What's DC like in the training room? Does he get on your ass hard?
Yeah, he on my ass.
Type way.
So funny thing, I fly in and I'm like, DC, like, don't come down here out of fucking shape. You get down here, we training you, your black ass better be in shape. And I'm like, I'm gonna fuck everybody up in your gym. Fuck you, DC. First day I get there, dude, he got these motherfuckers he's like, we sparring, it's spar day, I'm like, dude, I just got off the plane. And fucking he put his guy in there on me. We going back and forth, faking, fainting, feeling each other out. All I hear is woof. This dude throws a right hand and it barely misses my nose, and I'm like, oh my God. this dude is trying to kill me, dude. I'm like, what, DC? Like, what the fuck are you doing putting these kind of dudes in here with me? Like, I still got to be healthy for this fight coming up. And he was like, you come in talking shit. We training here. You don't act like you don't remember. And I was like, that's all right, because I'm not sparring at 16. They had 16-ounce gloves, the whole thing, headgear, knee braces, and all that. I came in there with some 8 ounces. I was like, all right, put them back there with me. Put them in there. They were all trying to check my gloves. Like, what size are those gloves? I'm like, they 16s. He was like, let me check. I'm like, nah, y'all good. Y'all want me to go? Y'all want me to spar? Let's go. Let's go. He ended up buying me some gloves, buying me headgear, buying me everything. It was like, you weren't next when we spar.
We're not having you hit these dudes with 8-ounce gloves.
It's cinema when we in there.
Oh, that's good.
He definitely holds you accountable.
Yeah. No. I can only imagine. And it's quite the team you're building down there. Harrington.
So I just wanted to ask, following up with that DC thing, do you think he put you in these bad matchups because he's jealous that he never got a Big 12 title and you did? Do you ever rub that in?
I didn't know that, but I'm about to start rubbing that in his fucking face. I'm glad you said that. Thanks for that. Thanks for that for sure. I think it's just all love because he understood the situation that I was in when I fought Nico Price as well, and he just wants to make sure that we're crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's, making sure we're ready. And we literally just got off the phone earlier today, and he's trying to figure out what's next for me and how quick we want to actually get to moving. And I don't know if I should be saying this, but they're trying to get me on a Miami card. So,
oh shit! Well, there you go. Breaking news.
We'll see how this works out with my management team and all the UFC and all that. But
Jacobe,
let's go. I'm ready.
Do it. I mean, you beat the guy. What was it? First round, 3 minutes. You didn't take any damage. You've got one of the best guys you could ever wish of or dream of, like mentoring you along, coaching you. DC's been there at the highest levels. The man's a double champion. Obviously, there's similar background to yourself with the wrestling and everything. You know, we wish you all the best, man. Congrats again on Saturday night. Looks like we're going to see you in Miami. I look forward to hearing
hopefully
when it's going to be.
But hopefully, man. I hope so.
Congrats, brother. That was sick. Thanks for your time. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jacobe. Yeah. Fucking killed it, dude.
Literally.
He's a scary dude, man. He's a very scary dude.
He is.
Especially if he can keep doing that and really listening to guys like DC and really doing all of the stuff that is needed to be done. He can be a champion. There's no doubt in my mind. He has definitely got all of the abilities and the power. And then to have the wrestling in his back pocket, if he's in shape and ready to go mentally, he's got everything. Nobody's going to want to fight him. Nobody is going to want to fight him.
I fully agree.
I wouldn't want to fight him.
Like all those guys, it's like he's a problem with that level of wrestling and the athletic ability that he has.
And the power.
And the boxing, the speed, the power. And of course, being taken through the entire journey by Daniel Cormier. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I was speaking to DC, did you come to that dinner? No, you didn't. At the start of the Paramount, there was a little dinner in Vegas. No, you weren't there.
Mm-mm.
And DC was telling me about how he has this team now. He's had it for a little while. And he was taking me through his day. And I was like, how do you fit all of this into your day?
I don't know how he does all of the stuff that he does.
Because he was like, he gets his son up at 6 a.m. every day and takes him through a weight training practice. Then he takes his daughter to school. Then he comes back and he runs a wrestling practice for his academy, of which he's got like 1,000 kids in his academy. Then he has his team. Then he trains the team. Then he goes home, he sleeps, and then he does a pro wrestling practice in the evening and then a team practice in the evening. And then, of course, all the work stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, how do you do it? And he's like, Michael, and this really got me thinking. He said, you're right. It is a lot. I'm exhausted. He said, but do you know what? He said, my heart is full. And I was like, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about it a lot. I'm going to start a little team or something because I want to take my son through this journey because I think he wants to fight. When I say my son, I mean Lucas, the younger. he wants to fight properly, and so I'm going to start him now. So I'm going to start a little team, and I just want to be you're around the gym, Paul. You go down and see the guys. You see Sean Brady and all those people, and I'm sometimes in a gym here and there, but with my neck and everything, I've been away from it for so long, bro. I got to get back involved and start giving back. Like I was even talking about starting like a boys club in the UK, because there's a lot of young men that have no direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a good idea, man. And you're right. Especially in today's age where it's just so easy to not do anything like that and to not get out and be active. If you can start like that and you have the name and people will want to come and be a part of that and be involved, that's a great idea.
It's like this. Look, this here. Keep CBU Wrestling alive. Mark Munoz reached out to me. His wrestling program that he's the coach of, they're going to cancel it.
Yeah, it's crazy how much wrestling has struggled to even just stay alive. They were talking about getting rid of it in the Olympics and stuff. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
What are we talking about? How do you get rid of wrestling?
It's insane. That was one of the first Olympic sports. And I might have said this, like, obviously I used to hate wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm from the UK. We didn't wrestle. Yeah. I'm like, fuck off. Stop doing that. Stop. Stand and fight like a man, you know? So I hated them. But being around it now and being exposed to it and seeing the positive impact that it has, I was saying to Rebecca, I said, they need this in the UK because there's so many young boys and girls. They're hanging out on the streets. They got no positive role models. They're not doing any sports. Some of the parents are deadbeats. They're hanging out on the streets. They're taking drugs. They're drinking alcohol. They're getting up to no good. You know, if they had like a positive environment, which is what wrestling gives a lot of these young people. Like Lucas is out of bed at 6 a.m. He's lifting weights after school. He's going to training. He's doing all this. Yes, sir. No, sir. Getting that discipline drilled into them. So I was going to like speak to some people in the UK and start like some like boys club and try and get some sponsors involved to pay for it and shit like that. But I'm ranting. I'm going on, but maybe I'll start a gym. Maybe I'll start a boys club. Maybe I'm just going to become Mr. Miyagi in my backyard and do some karate. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, Paul?
I support you becoming Mr. Miyagi. I think that's
in the garage.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Mr. Miyagi in the garage. Should we get Harrington on? And Brian.
Yeah,
boys,
we haven't seen them. We haven't seen them in a while. We've been busy with guests.
What's up, boys?
How are you?
Jam-packed show.
It's been a good one. I feel like it's been a good one.
Well, we still got a lot of shit to talk. We got fights in Mexico.
Oh yeah, I haven't even looked at that.
Fights is an understatement.
How many fights,
bro?
15.
Are you commentating, Paul?
No.
I am. I have one more day here, then I go to Mexico City. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fights on. But to Brian's point, because I text Jason Perillo, because Marlon Vera, Cheeto, he's the co-main event. I was saying we'll meet up when we get to Mexico. Jason's not drinking these days. He said, I'll have a chocolate milk. You can have a beer. I said, no. I'm drinking less these days as well, Jay. But can we get some pad work? That's what I was asking him. I said, how's Cheeto looking? And he said, yeah, great, et cetera, et cetera. He said, but is the fight even happening? Because obviously there's a ton of trouble going off in Mexico because a cartel leader got killed. So I text Zach straight away. He said, yeah, security's all over it. And right now, the fight card's still going ahead. Look at this shit.
Yeah, there's all sorts of videos of crazy shit going on. People getting smoked in the streets. It's pretty crazy, actually.
Harrington, he's just jumped off.
What's up?
No. I asked you to get a bit of just do a bit of digging because we were in Houston and now I'm here. But what is the full scope of what's happening there?
So a leader of one of the cartels out there, he was gunned down, killed by forces. Apparently, it was a joint cooperation thing between the Mexican government following orders from the United States administration saying, hey, we got to clamp down on these cartels. We got to, be a little bit more active in trying to curb your cartels. So one of the guys
apparently it was also a little bit of a vendetta here because the guy who's now in charge of the special police forces in Mexico survived a hit from this dude like 15 years ago.
Okay. So maybe that's why he was the first one to go. But either way, as soon as he went down, his whole crew essentially went to war with the army. You remember the same thing happened, I want to say like last year when they were guys were showing up into hospitals and like taking that over.
Yeah.
People out. So it seems like that's what's happening right now in this portion of Mexico that's controlled by this cartel. They're now openly at war with the army. There are some videos of like the Narcos guys in full army fatigues in the street with their own tanks ready to go blow for blow with the Mexican army. So
that's crazy.
Wow.
I saw videos on the news this morning, like people literally sprinting in the airports. What are they running for? Are they sprinting to get
The gun
security first to get away? Was there attacks in the airport? But they're running through the airport terminal.
I think there was attacks in an airport.
There was attacks. Okay. I'm like, the plane's scheduled to leave at a certain time. It's still going to take off.
So there was, I just saw Brian had the video up a second ago. Like they were setting it up where they were doing roadblocks essentially and just putting like, giant tankers or as you can see here, like a 16-wheeler, right? Like just blocking paths like that. So now if you want to get through this area, the cartel has to approve people going in and out of these areas. It seems like a pretty scary place right now. And you know who's in it more than anyone? Right in the middle of it, Yuri Prohaska.
Why?
So the UFC reached out to him. I didn't put this in the notes, but the UFC reached out to him. He was climbing a mountain. They were like, hey, can you give us any kind of like training updates? And it's literally just him on a mountain, like free soloing, climbing. And then you can see like in
Bring
the
that up, Brian, because
in that area, there was that's the video right there, Brian. You can see here, he's literally just climbing by himself in the mountain.
I think the best for you can film is
my God.
It's right now. Peña de Bernal.
Stylish with the hat on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got
free
that much fun.
I'm climbing back, so right now, just a little.
Oh my God.
Little floors and I'm back down.
So I saw that. I didn't realize that was in Mexico. I'm going on Wednesday. Typically, we get like little briefings, don't we, Paul? We'll get a letter. I remember the first time I fought in Newark, New Jersey. It was like, don't go out late at night. It's dangerous. I went straight out late at night because I wanted some pizza. I went to Brazil in October. We got an email. Don't go out. Don't have mobile phones. Don't wear a watch. Don't have a camera. Don't have anything on. I went out by myself. I did a members blog on my YouTube channel. I have a membership section where I do some blogs and stuff. Did one last week with Chris Wyman and Dan Helly involved. You might want to check that out. But you got to sign up. I went out for a wander. I feel like this time we're going to get a lot of strict security protocol that I will be obeying. I ain't messing around in Mexico.
No, I wouldn't be messing around with cartels going to war with the government. That is sketch. And it's already can be a sketchy place to begin with. But Mexico City wasn't. Is this happening in Mexico City or just in
Puerto Vallarta? I think is the main hub of it all, but cartels operate. And if the Americans are involved, and I'm not trying to scaremonger. I'm not trying to scaremonger. But if I was trying to do maximum damage, there's a big bunch of Americans coming in for a UFC event.
It's headlined by a Mexican, at least.
Yes, correct. There's a lot of Mexicans on there.
So that might save you.
And the Mexicans do love a good fight.
Yeah.
They do. They do. On the card, we've got Brandon Moreno taking on Lonnie Kavanaugh. Who wins that fight, Paul? You can make a prediction. I can't. I'm
going to go with Brandon Moreno on this one. I think he's used to that altitude. He's fought there before. He's got tons of 5-round experience. It's, Kavanaugh is a bit of a fill-in and coming into this and coming off of a loss too, right? And a KO loss. Even though I think, that was a fight he was doing well. And I'm going to go with Brandon Moreno.
Just in the background, Harrington and Brian, if any of you disagree with Paul's ad hoc, off-the-cuff, unresearched picks,
completely unresearched.
Yeah, no, I get it. You know what I mean? But I'm putting you on the spot. Marlon Chito Vera taking on David Martinez. We're giving the Martinez, we'll roll the R because we're in Mexico City. Okay, the Martinez, I don't want to sound racist, but
I'm going to go with our boy Chito Vera on this one. I think he gets it done.
Okay, we also have Daniel Zellhuber. Zellhuber, I don't know why I'm doing a French accent now, but He lost to Michael Johnson and Esteban Ribovics at the Sphere. He's taking on, who is this guy? Oh, the King, Green, Bobby King.
Yeah, I'm going Zellhuber on this one. I think he's the younger guy, longer guy. King Green is, I don't know what he's doing it for anymore at this point. I think he's still a tough out for anybody. I think he'll test him at moments, but I think Zellhuber gets it done.
Considering you've done zero research here, Paul, you're doing good. But I'm going to test your knowledge. We're going to keep going. Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunez.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I'm going to go Chairez just because I don't fucking know.
Emmanuel Rodriguez taking on Kevin Borjas.
You know, I don't even know. I'm not sure who Rodriguez is. He a contender guy? Was he on a contender?
Santiago Luna taking on Angel Pacheco.
Let's go with Luna. We'll go with the Mexican.
We'll go. We have Eileen Perez, loves a good twerk. Princess Fiona taking on Macy Chasson. Chasson.
I'm going to go Macy Chasson.
Okay, good. And Harrington O'Brien, nobody jumped in.
I think Paul's nailing it right now.
they agree. Hold on, hold on.
Good luck, Michael. Good luck this weekend.
I don't know if I can read this out loud, but I've just got a safety email.
Oh, wow.
For those unfamiliar with in the region, most of the disruptions, are occurring in the state of Jalisco, which is approximately 350 to 400 miles away from Mexico City.
That's good.
They are enhancing protocols, and there's a lot of stuff that they're going in. They're speaking to the chief of police in Mexico City, is handling all the security. Everything's fine. The fights are on, and it's 400 miles away. It's a contained incident. So, okay, well, Mexico.
Well, that is some breaking news, because I was reading, a lot of the people are speculating, people who probably aren't in the know at all, that there might be some plans to maybe move the event. So, that's some pretty cool breaking news, for people to be getting. But the other thing I was going to say, Bobby Green, plus 380, getting plus 350 in certain spots against the guy coming off back-to-back losses. I can't pick against King Green at nearly 4-1. Like it's the same ruling as Sean Strickland last week, right? Like the level of opponent that he has faced and overcome. I think Bobby Green has to get the same kind of benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, never count out Bobby Green. Did we see all this stuff with Conor Ben, Zuffa Boxing, Eddie Hearn? Massive signing for Zuffa Boxing.
Yeah.
And Eddie Hearn was very, very upset.
The war of words continues between him and Dana. No doubt about that.
Well, Eddie Hearn, because I thought they were cool, because I saw him. Well, you probably saw him. Eddie Hearn's been at one or some of the London events. Sat with Dana.
They were cool. And then it seemed like Eddie Hearn was the one that came out and was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to show him who the real promoter is. I'm going to show him how boxing is really. He seemed to be the one that kind of made it go that way and started to be the shit talking. And now, you know how Dana is. Once you kind of challenge him like that and pull his card, he's not afraid to go at you.
Now, far be it from me to try and stir up any kind of feuds or anything like that, but he was speaking to a well-known instigator, Eddie Hearn, when he was saying this. He was chatting away to Ariel, and hey, fair play, I guess, for Ariel, because that's what you do, right? You want to get that on your show. You want to get someone to talk shit, and he's very, very good at stirring the pot in that regard.
Yeah.
Before you all start calling me bootlicker Bisping, you dickheads. What else have we got? Paddy Pimblett says that he was not happy with the scoring for the Justin Gaethje fight, and he's called out Benoit Saint Denis, who thinks he shouldn't have jumped him in the rankings for beating that bum, pardon the phrase, Dan Hooker.
Beating him in the bum?
No, beat by the bum, not beat him in the bum repeatedly. What do we think? Benoit Saint Denis versus Paddy Pimblett. I respect that call out from Paddy, man, because Benoit, and listen, that's the territory that Paddy Pimblett's in now. He's one of the top ranked guys. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Rankings, number 6.
Yeah,
Benoit's 5.
I like that fight. We talked about how that fight, would make a lot of sense. And the fact that he's now into it and in fact calling for it, I think it's a no-brainer that you book it. If Benoit doesn't take that fight, then you're not getting Max. You're not getting Charles right now. Who knows what's going on with Arman Sarukian? And Gaethje is only looking for Ilia Topuria right now. So, I mean, take another fight in the meantime. You get somebody like Paddy. And then if you beat Paddy and you're on this win streak you're on, then you can see how things shake out in a couple of weeks with Charles and Max. You can see what's going on with Sarukian. You can see if they're going to book Gaethje and Ilia anytime soon for, there's rumors of the White House. There's rumors that maybe it's not the White House, but I think they're matched and they're going to be fighting either headlining some card somewhere or somewhere on the White House card. So,
yep, very well said. And then also, lastly, before we do some questions, and Harrington's got a new segment for the show. I don't know do we still send in questions to bympod@gmail.com? Answer that question in a minute, Harrington. Don't jump in. Oh, Brian.
I was going to say, yes, we still do.
bympod@gmail.com. Remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that bollocks. Comment mainly. Tell me how much of a dickhead I am. Helps the algorithm. Brian Ortega is out of his matchup with Renato Money Moicano. And instead, Money is going to face Chris Duncan on April 4th at the Apex. I'll be there calling that fight. Are you?
I don't think. Wait. Pause.
Pausing.
Yes.
Right. Well, I'll see you there. But it's alarming with Brian Ortega.
He's all over the place,
I like Brian, and he's a really good fighter. But he's definitely been struggling a little bit lately. He's lost 4 out of his last 5. He lost to Aljamain Sterling. He had a really tough weight cut. He went to the hospital. Didn't really do much in the fight. Now he was meant to fight Moicano. And now he's pulled out of the fight with an injury again. And I think he's pulled out of a few along the way as well. What are your thoughts on what's going on there?
I don't know if it's just personal life too, and not being able to keep it together and keep motivated in the gym, if he's not taking care of himself and continuing to get hurt. I just really wonder where he is at mentally and where he is on how badly he wants to do this anymore, right? Are you just doing it to do it at this point? Because when you're just doing it to do it, you get a lot of pullouts, right? You get a lot of fights that don't go your way. You start to have bad weight cuts. Things don't start to go your way. So I just don't really feel the desire from Brian Ortega right now. And this is a guy that he fought, challenged for the belt, had his moments in that fight with Volk, and has had main events with people like, Max Holloway, and just, he hasn't looked the same in a long time, unfortunately.
Is he fighting at 45 these days? It's 40. What am I saying? It's always been 45. I'm just looking for his ranking. I don't see him. Where is he?
Was this going to be at 55? Because Moicano is at 55.
I don't see Brian Ortega's name in either. He's ranked. He's one of the top guys. On the UFC rankings, I don't see Brian Ortega at 45. Oh, no, sorry. There he is. Pardon me. Number 10. I was looking up higher. I thought he'd be ranked higher than that, Brian Ortega, but he has lost 4 out of 5. Yeah, I agree with what you said. Wish him the best. Sean Brady steps in against Renato Moicano. That'll be a great fight. We know Chris Duncan, very, very violent. Very violent. Did I say Sean Brady a second?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw you look confused, and I'm like, I said Sean Brady. Sean Brady's fighting as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's that?
I think that's the Apex too. Different date in April. April 25th.
Joaquin Buckley.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, very good fight. You see Joaquin Buckley talking all kinds of mad shit to Terence Crawford?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of shit.
He's just making noise, staying in the spotlight, just doing what he's got to do.
I'm very entertained by Joaquin Buckley when he fights and when he's got a camera in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
right.
He's an entertainer, no doubt.
All right. Well, all right. Energy's running low. We're going to get Harrington to jump in. Harrington, the floor is yours.
Well, no, I just had the Terence Crawford quote because I thought it was kind of funny and kind of powerful. He jumped in on Kevin Holland, said, I'm sorry, I'm Joaquin Buckley. He said, see, this is why this guy's nowhere near the top. Buckley responded talking about how if the two were to fight in the street, it wouldn't even be close. Terrence Crawford responded, who's fighting in the streets anymore? Talking about who can kill in the streets. Must have forgot that's what they make guns for.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
Pretty solid.
But if it was a fist fight, I would bet if it was a street fight, I would put my entire bank account on Joaquin Buckley in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, he can do so many more things.
He can shoot a double leg. He really can. He's got powerful wrestling.
Yeah, and he can choke you out. Like, if you're not up on grappling, he's not going to stand in box with a guy like Terrence Crawford.
He definitely isn't. Right, Harrington, jump on. New segment for the show. We're evolving, apparently.
This was an interesting idea. So we've been the fan question.
This is all Harrington. I've had nothing to do with this. He's been on the phone call. He's talking to people. Right. There's digital designers out there. This is Harrington's little baby. Let's see where this goes. But Harrington, take it away.
So it's been a little disappointing from the question section recently. It's been a while since one, other than naming hot male fighters, where it's gotten like a real discussion going between you guys. So
it's true. That really got us chatting and debating.
It did.
So I talked to the guys over at 3-Punch Convo. 3-Punch Convo, if you don't know, it's an online platform where MMA fans and fighters connects. Fans can debate matchups, discuss rankings, and track their picks.
I think I just talked to the guy in Houston.
He did say that he spoke to you recently.
Yeah.
It's cool. Fighters get to connect with their fans, build brands while unlocking outside the cage opportunities. Guys like Dean Thomas, Kenny Florian, Steve Garcia are doing it. So I went and checked out their forums just to see if there was anything that I thought you guys could sink your teeth into. And this one had actually like a bunch of fighters chime in on it because it seems like this one struck a chord here. But what's your favorite post-fight interview? The poster here mentions the conversation you had with distinguished gentleman Uros Medic, and how that really did get him over with some of the fans, right? Talking about a guy who is humble. Houston, we have a problem, and it's me. I'm the problem. He said, sure, I lose, but I'm just a human being. I may lose again, but bet your ass I'm going to come back and knock people out. So that certainly did win him a bunch of fans. And the commenter asked, what are some other post-fight interviews, that spring to your mind that say, I became a fan of this guy? The top response is Brian Battle talking about knocking out French people in France. I think Steve Garcia jumped in talking about Derek Lewis. My balls was hot. That certainly, gained a bit of a social media following for the Black Beast. Robbie Lawler being absolutely ruthless at the end of his fight with Rory McDonald the second time. So, guys, what are some examples for you where guys took the mic in a post-fight interview and changed the trajectory of their career with what they said on the mic?
Well, that's a different question to what you posed to us earlier, changing the trajectory of their career. You asked us for the favorite post-fight speech. Get off. So that's what we're going to go with. Not changing trajectories, but very, very memorable, because it is an interesting course of debate, because you can really become a star with a solid post-fight interview. You go out there, you beat the shit out of someone, but then you rock it on the microphone. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to be controversial. You can do what Uros Medic did at the weekend. That was awesome as well. You know what I mean? And you can just have everyone talking about you and have these insane viral moments. Paul, any that stand out to you? And Brian and Harrington, I want to hear your takes.
Well, just not too long ago, I got to interview the new heavyweight guy that does, is it Hackett?
Josh Hackett.
Yes.
I got to interview that guy. And I think it might have been his debut in the UFC. And I knew he had said a bunch of stuff when he was on the Contender Series, but I wasn't quite prepared for that. And I had a question. I asked the question, and he took it and ran with it and had a full-blown monologue, WWE, big speech, calling people out, talking shit.
I already stomped 2 Brazilians, and I'm looking for a third. Walter Walker, you absolutely suck. Let's hear it for your winner, Josh Hogan, ladies and gentlemen.
And then that was it, and he walked off. And I was like, that's great. You had something in mind, you pulled it off, and we got the hell out of there. So most recently, I would say that was probably one of the speeches where I was like, okay.
I have one that's very on brand here. I liked him before this, but this really put a cherry on the cake when Renato Moicano came out and started talking about
the finances.
Started talking about economics and libertarian politics.
If you care about your fucking country, I'll read Ludwig von Mises and the 6 lessons of the Austrian economic school, motherfuckers.
Oh, this guy's the best.
Yeah.
I loved it when Chael Sonnen was like, Anderson Silva.
How happy are you with your performance tonight? Anderson Silva, you absolutely suck.
You absolutely suck.
Yeah.
It's unoriginal. And I went to a list. I went to ChatGPT. Rebecca's like, all you do is talk to ChatGPT. You gotta give credit to this one, right? Love him or hate him, right? Conor McGregor, he was always very good on the mic. He was incredible. And when he knocked the shit out of Eddie Alvarez at Madison Square Garden, and he had all that trouble with Habib and all the rest of it, and he gets on the microphone and he says,
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
And the crowd just went mental, right? That was good, man. That was good.
That was a good one.
Well, I mean, the other half of one of the most legendary rivalries in UFC history got started when Nate Diaz took the mic and said,
fuck that. Conor McGregor, you're taking everything I work for, motherfucker. I'm going to fight your fucking ass.
Then they're fighting 2 months later, and it's, stars out of the both of them.
But the better one was, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, that was good. Do you know, for an inspirational one, when Izzy came back, I think it was after he knocked out Pereira, and he said, I hope you guys here get to experience this kind of feeling once in your life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and that really was, you know what I mean? I was like, that was a beautiful speech. It really was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some great ones over the years. What's one or two more before we move on? I'm looking at chat.
Oh, I mean, in the moment, talk about like really winning people over to your side. When Leon Edwards looked into the camera, it's like, it's been a long 4 years. You all said I couldn't do it, but look at us now. And he's I mean, that's nothing like that.
I remember at UFC London when Paddy gave a speech about men's mental health, and his friend had committed suicide a couple of days before, and delivered a very powerful message there. So there's so many different ways. You can be funny, you can be controversial, you can be abusive, you can give words of inspiration or guidance and mentorship or whatever. But you just own that moment, and some people really have. We've had some incredible moments over the years. Harrington, not a bad segment.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, if anybody else wants to jump in on the conversation and give theirs, head on over to 3 Punch Combo, use the code BYM, get yourself 3 free months, and get in the discussion.
And if you do have a good old-fashioned video question, like we used to do on the show, bympod@gmail.com. Now, Paul's going to be in Philadelphia if there is a UFC event in Philadelphia. There's been one rumored. I don't know if it's happening or not. I will do whatever I can, Paul, to also be at that event, because we will have to do a BYM live. I will come as a fan and check out Philadelphia. I'll go walk around the streets and do a little blog. You're going to show me where all the crackheads and the fentanyl guys are hanging out.
I can definitely show you where that's at.
Yeah, no, because I want to get it on camera. I'll get millions of views.
We'll take a little drive.
We'll get Harrington and Brian down. I'll bring Rebecca along. We'll do a little trip out of it. BYM Live, Philadelphia. Bet your bottom dollar. As long as I'm not doing some other crazy shit, I'll be there.
I was going to challenge Brian, a race up the steps that Rocky did.
Oh, yes.
How fun does that sound?
I've definitely done that before, but sure, we can do it.
Now,
yes,
we've made these promises many times. With Anthony, it was almost a weekly occurrence. But for this one, Paul, in your home city, if it does go ahead, and I don't think I'm commentating, I don't even know if the event's going ahead. But if it does,
we don't know
I'm
if it's
not,
official yet. Yeah.
If I'm not, I'll fly in. I'll do it. I'll come and watch the fights. I'll enjoy Philadelphia. But are you down for that, Paul? And one maybe
of course.
Friday night?
Yeah.
Harrington will book a venue. We'll sell some tickets. We'll do a live show.
Yeah, I think that will go well. I think we could definitely pull that off.
Oh, we can do it. It's been done before. But if you've got a question, bywmpod@gmail.com. Brian, what do we have?
Well, this question is from Roland Jr.
Oh.
Hello. This is
Oh my God.
daughter.
All right, hold on.
From
I'm fucking up. I'm out working on 2 computers here, and I just kind of fucking brain farted. Let me just get that back. I pressed the wrong buttons.
Hello. This is Roland Wixer's daughter from Germany.
Yeah.
Hello, sexy Mike. No homo. And sexy Paul. No homo. How much money will it take for you to give up your phone for a year?
You know what? Go ahead, Paul. I talk too much.
For a year. I mean, how much money? I mean, I would enjoy the idea of doing that, but I just don't know how we would even function anymore with what we do and work and the amount of text messages that we get. Imagine being on the road and call times, meetings, all of that. You wouldn't be able to do it. So you'd have to give me, I don't know, I'll take, I don't know, $1 million.
I get what you're saying. There's laptops, Paul. You can look at your laptop for the meetings and the messages. They can call your hotel room, right? I dream. I fantasize of the day when I can delete all my social media bullshit and go live off in a farm somewhere, right? It's good now. I need it to promote stuff. I have sponsorship deals and all the rest of it. And, you know, it's a part of my life and a part of my brand and a part of how I make money, right? So I have to do it. And I go on, and the kids and my daughter, certainly, she's trying to become an actress. I'm like, you got to build your social profile. You got to work on that a little bit, Ellie. Because these goddamn, but outside of that, I hate being a slave to this.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that anyone can call you at any time and you're expected to pick up. And if you don't pick up, they're like, why aren't you picking up? It's like, well, you don't have the right to access to me 24/7. I don't have to excuse or explain myself why I wasn't contactable by phone at 9 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And yes, I know.
So yeah, I'll take as much money as you're willing to give me, but as long as it didn't cost me anything professionally, bro, it'd be so nice.
You know, Bill Murray still doesn't use his cell phone. You can't book Bill Murray for something by calling his cell phone. You have to call. He has a landline and an answering service, and that's how you get a hold of him.
And I love that. I love that. The human beings are going dumber as a race because of, all right, AI, smartphones, technology. I get it. I was in Sydney, and I had to, we went into a casino, and I had to write down all my shit with a pen and paper. And I was like, my address and fucking everything. I was like, whoa, it's been a while since I've written with a pen. And my handwriting was terrible, so bad. Because now you just type.
I still do notes handwritten for the show. That helps me keep it still, because I'm so bad at typing. I don't even do it. I write on piece of paper.
Like now, like if you want to know the answer, Rebecca was saying this recently. In fact, I call her back, Rebecca. The classic. Don't worry, Paul. We're almost done. Paul's like, we've been going for 2 hours. He's calling his fucking wife it. Rebecca. She's going to do me like that. 2 Rebeccas.
Call the phone.
And we have 1 or 2 more questions.
Call the phone. Hey, babe, come here. What?
Here.
Come here.
You text me, come here.
Well, I can't shout 2 Rebeccas first time in a while and get no response. Explain to Paul what you were telling me.
What was I telling you?
You were telling me, in your humble opinion, your esteemed opinion, you're learned, and you read many books.
What? Hurry up.
The human beings as a species are going dumber because of phones.
Yes.
Elaborate.
Because we don't think anymore. Do you even write anymore, Paul? Do you like put pen to paper and like write stuff down?
The only thing I would do, I was telling Michael, the only thing that I still on the regular do is I do my notes for the broadcast. I write like the fighter note.
That's good.
But my handwriting is way worse than it used to be when I was younger, obviously.
Mine is so bad. Like I can't, it feels like very, like it just feels weird. And like, we just don't even think for ourselves anymore. I can't spell because spell check.
I can't spell.
It.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you would go to type something into Google, it's already like finished your sentence. Like no one has to think. You can
and not only that, now if you want to write an email, but you want it to sound better, it already gives it, it just makes it better.
Have you used the polish function on Gmail?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Write some bullshit.
Saves me because I'm terrible at writing, a proper email.
No one has to kind of like read through it and think, oh, how can I make this sound more professional? It's just doing it for you. And it's just, there's so much stuff.
You had a good point. She said, the art of conversation suffers because you used to sit around and wonder things. Like you'd have a question about something. And you don't sit around and hypothesize. I don't know. But now, whatever the answer is, you just
look it up. Yeah.
There's no point even like trying to figure it out, wondering about it. There's no mystery anymore. You can't even like wonder something about someone because you can go on their Instagram and find out everything about them.
Yeah. All right. What were you doing? Dishes?
I was actually, yes. I was actually unstacking the dishwasher.
What are we having for dinner tonight?
We're having steak with Cajun rice.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Go back to meal prepping.
Michael's request.
Yes.
Sounds
good.
Go
back to meal prepping and we shall wrap up the show. What are you having for dinner, Paul?
I don't know what we're having tonight, but last night I had homemade burritos. We just made burritos at home. It was nice.
Homemade.
Yeah, made the rice, ground beef, seasoned it up, some peppers, onions, avocado, and what else did I put in there? And then just some hot sauce.
Sounds like a delicious meal. Rebecca approves. And we approve of you. And hopefully you approve of our show because that is it. It has come to its finale. 2 hours, 2 minutes and 5 seconds of me talking out of my ass. Uros Medic being very, very articulate.
Jacobe Smith.
Jacobe Smith. Thank you very much. I'm tired.
Being a savage.
And Paul Felder. Everyone loves Paul. Paul never gets any abuse. Paul's being Paul.
I had a guy after our broadcast calling me stuttering Paul the whole time on Twitter. Oh, get this.
Really?
Oh, dude, yeah, I get it. I get abused.
Yeah. Any comments about commentary? Paul's the best. Paul's the man. Paul's the man. We love Paul.
Bro,
this thing fucking sucks.
There's always people that hate all of us. There's guys that hate me that think I'm a fucking idiot. Trust me.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better because I did try a little bit.
It's just you see it. You see stuff about you. I see stuff about me. DC says stuff about him. Dom sees stuff about him. Laura sees stuff. We all, trust me, we all get it.
That's why we're going to lose the phones.
I know. And dude, that's why I try not to look at Twitter like right after broadcasts and stuff anywhere because I know there's going to be a guy that tells me I'm a piece of shit.
And now I've got you by a favor going on at me about something else, work related, in the middle of a podcast. Fuck off. See what I mean? Lose the phones, but pay me $1 million if you want to do that. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.